4 shocking statistics about the COVID-19 lockdowns. Not the virus, the lockdowns. According to new data from Yelp, 55% of businesses that have been forced to shut down between March 1st and July 10th, thanks to the government-mandated lockdowns, are now closed permanently. That's right, half of businesses that were shut down have been forced to close forever because they couldn't make ends meet. The government-mandated lockdowns killed them. According to the data from Yelp, the rate of permanent business closures is actually accelerating. In June, 44% of businesses closed since March, closed for good, compared to 55% through the middle of July. So it increased by a whopping 11% in just 1 month's time. Meanwhile, according to a new report from the UK government, more than 200,000 Brits are expected to die thanks to the government-mandated lockdowns. Again, not the virus, the lockdowns. 46,000 people have died in Britain from COVID-19, but according to the UK government data, 200,000 are expected to die from the lockdowns themselves, from delayed medical treatment, suicide, domestic violence, and economic devastation, amounting to nearly 1 million years of life lost because of the lockdowns. Speaking of years of life lost, Stanford epidemiologist Dr. Scott Atlas says the lockdowns in the U.S. will result in more years of life lost than the virus will cause itself. Atlas says, and this was back in May when he wrote this, and I quote, "The disease has been responsible for 800,000 lost years of life so far. Considering only the losses of life from missed health care and unemployment due solely to the lockdown policy, we conservatively estimate that the national lockdown is responsible for at least 700,000 lost years of life every month, or about 1.5 million so far, already far surpassing the COVID-19 total." End quote. This isn't just happening in the U.S. and the U.K. either. According to a new report from the United Nations, the government-mandated lockdowns are killing people all around the world. In fact, the new UN report says 10,000 children around the world are dying of starvation every month, thanks to the government-mandated lockdowns in our country and others. 10,000 kids every month. And don't try to tell me if we hadn't locked down, the virus would have been worse. That's an unfalsifiable claim. It was based on ridiculously flawed model predictions built on secret algorithms. There's no way to disprove it, and it doesn't match with reality. Because if lockdowns worked, then how do you explain Sweden, who didn't lock down and is now seeing COVID-19 cases and deaths completely bottom out? The truth is, politicians messed up. They messed up big time. The COVID-19 virus may be bad, but the so-called cure from our government, locking down the nation, ruining our economy, devastating people's lives here and around the world, is not only worse, it's deadly.